Before the beginning, there was nothing. No earth, no heavens, no stars, no sky. Only the mist world, formless and shapeless. And the fire world, always burning. In Jotunheim, the home of the giants, is Mimir's well. Mimir, the wise one, the guardian of memory, knows many things. His well is wisdom. The ash tree grows between the 9 worlds and joins them each to each. The dragon Midhogg lives in these waters, and it is always gnawing at the root from below. At the edge of the flame stood Sota. He will go forth from Muspel with his flaming sword and burn the world with fire, and one by one the gods will fall before him.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are Dark Horse Comics, and we're back for our usual Wednesday New Comic Book Day rundown. I'm Kara, and joining me today is my compatriot, Anthony. Hey, Anthony.
How's it going? Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
Anthony and I work closely together, so here we are to bring our usual nonsense chatter about comics to you and yours. So we do have a lot of announcements, as seems to be the case this summer, and we're going to run through some of those, as well as showing you what is new in comic shops and bookstores this week. Our regular viewers know, and welcome to anybody who is new to this, that we are streaming live from home during COVID. So thank you for bearing with us and joining probably from your home as well. Just a few quick housekeeping notes before we get into the new announcements and releases. If you would like to enter our giveaway, that'll start running in a moment here. And what you win this week is a copy of The Art of the Dragon Prince, which is a new art book. Super excited about it. We're going to talk about it in lots of detail momentarily. All you need to do is in the chat, enter the keyword BAIT, B-A-I-T, using the hashtag or pound symbol. So hashtag BAIT. And all you need to do is enter that once and you'll be counted, and we'll draw a winner near the end of the stream. So stay tuned. I want to remind folks too that all the things we're going to talk about today that are new releases will be available at comic shops and bookstores if they are a graphic novel or art book. And you can get those at your local shop. We encourage you to shop locally if you can. Check in with your shops. A lot of them are doing special online ordering, pickup, delivery, all kinds of things during COVID. So please do support them if you can. If you need help finding a shop near you, comicshoplocator.com is an excellent tool. And there's also indiebound.org, which can help you find independent bookstores near you. I usually try not to be too much of a homer, and I let our guests do that. But I do want to point out that thankfully, our independent bookstore here in Portland, Powell's Books, is finally able to start reopening. So that's pretty exciting. If you're a Portland native or not, they have a website too. Check it out. They actually have a lot of comics and graphic novels there too. So if you're outside the Portland area, remember that your bookstores, especially if you have a used bookstore, can be a really great place to get comics and graphic novels, actually. So check that out, in addition to comic shops, of course. So Anthony and I both work on this little project called Neil Gaiman's Norse Mythology that is coming to comics. Very exciting, which we just watched the trailer for. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Big shout out to our trailer mistress, video producer, Kelly Wessner. She always comes out with these amazing animated trailers for some of our bigger comic series. And hats off also to Two Penguins Productions, who help out on the animation for these trailers. And also major thank you to Harper Audio for allowing us to utilize some of Neil Gaiman's own reading of Norse mythology, the book. The audiobook version is fantastic, and you got a little taste of it there in that trailer. So check that out. We will have more. So Norse mythology, Anthony. So we're looking at the David Mack cover right now here on stream. David is doing all the variant covers for this. Anthony, can you tell us a little bit more about some of the other collaborators who will be working on this series?
Yeah, so it's a huge list of different artists that P. Craig Russell, the writer artist who's helping adapt the novel into this comic series, and Daniel Shaban, the series editor, kind of put together. So there's Jerry Ordway, Mike Mignola contributed some pieces, David Rubin has contributed some pieces. God, I'm blanking on all the other artists, but it's I think Jill Thompson has contributed some pieces to it, but it's a huge list of different artists that are going to be showcased throughout the series lifespan, each kind of tackling a different mythology story in Norse mythology. So in the issue 1, you got Jerry Ordway, you got Mike Mignola, and P. Craig Russell, I believe, also makes his own appearance with his own art style in that issue 1. So it's a really cool series. It's going to be really cool collecting all the issues and as well as the trades when they come out, because it's just a very different way that we are choosing to adapt one of Gaiman's stories. If you followed along with American Gods, that it had a singular artist through its entire lifespan. This is going to be vastly different issue to issue. So it's something you are going to want to continue to pick up single issues for.
If you are a fan of Neil Gaiman at all, you definitely want to check this out. I'm very excited for it. It's the latest in our kind of ongoing, expanding library of Neil Gaiman adaptations. And Norse mythology is one of my favorites by Gaiman. So very excited to bring this to comics and see how P. Craig Russell, a frequent Gaiman collaborator, adapts it and works with all these different creators. I know people are really excited about Mike Mignola in particular. I am too. So stay tuned. Really looking forward to being able to share some more little samples of the upcoming issues. And as Anthony said, stay tuned. In each successive issue, you'll see new guest artists. Really interested to see like what Jill Thompson and David Rubin, for example, do with it.
I've seen the David Rubin pages. They're insane. David Rubin from Ether fame, as well as doing some stuff for Black Hammer. So if you're a fan of him, you're going to love what he did for Norse mythology.
Yeah. It's always fun to see new artists kind of take on these Gaiman titles. And I like, if you read any of these, you're going to be really familiar with P. Craig Russell's work. And he's a master at adapting these sometimes very complex stories, but it is fun to see these other art styles come in too. So
yeah,
Norse mythology is coming. It is delayed by COVID, as most single issues were, but fear not, it's coming back this fall. You can pre-order issue number 1 now at your local comic shop. It's available. Check it out via like our website, darkhorse.com, or also previewsworld.com. You can always see what's upcoming on there too, and what you might want to order from your comic shop. Also, Norse mythology is in one of our free comic book summer issues. It was expanded from Free Comic Book Day into Free Comic Book Summer, of course, because of COVID. And it's not really the best idea to send tons of people all at once into a small comic shop right now. So instead, freecomicbookday.com has more details on this, but Free Comic Book Summer, essentially new single issue Free Comic Book Day issues from various publishers are released a few per week at participating comic shops. And so our all ages comic already came out a couple of weeks ago. It features Stranger Things and Minecraft, 2 original stories, not a crossover. And then our gold issue, which is more for adults, is a combination of Critical Role, Vox Machina Origins, a new original story by Jody Houser, and this time illustrated by Hunter Banyan, which is gorgeous. And also it features the first intro to Neil Gaiman's Norse mythology. So you can get a sneak peek ahead at what's coming in that Free Comic Book Day issue. And I want to point out they're both available on digital now as well. If you can support your comic shop, please do check in with them, see if they're participating and if they have issues in stock and what their policies are right now during COVID. But if you're not near a comic shop or they don't have the issue, don't worry. You can get it at Dark Horse Digital. And those are also available typically at other sites like Comixology as well. And with that, we're going to get into some of our digital sales right now. So the first one is our digital sale on kids comics. Right now, we're featuring comics and graphic novels that are suitable for people of all ages. Single issues are just $1, and full graphic novels are around like $4 to $6 typically. It's about 50% off. And this sale includes favorites like The Adventures of Superhero Girl by Faith Erin Hicks. One of my personal favorites, Age of Reptiles. Some of the most detailed dinosaur drawings you will ever see by Ricardo Delgado. It's got Usagi Yojimbo by Stan Sakai, of course, and all of our Avatar and Korra comics. So you should check those out. You might have heard of Avatar and also Korra because they are now back on Netflix, which is very exciting. At least they're back here in the US. I don't know about other countries. I am sorry. But so all of those are about 50% off. Dark Horse Digital, that's digital.darkhorse.com. And again, those are typically mirrored on other sites like Comixology as well.
We're also doing a historical comics digital sale. So we're offering 50% off all comics and graphic novels, either based on historical events or tales with historical settings. This includes comics like Black Hammer 45 by Jeff Lemire and Matt Kent, which is a fictional Black Hammer tale set during World War II, as well as the recent kind of true crime story, The Butcher of Paris, which tells the story of a hunt to catch a real life serial killer in Paris during World War II. This sale also includes The Fifth Beatle, Muhammad Ali, and another recent series we've put out called Kill Whitey Donovan. So you can find them all at digital.darkhorse.com.
There's a lot of good titles on both of these sales. Make sure you browse through past the first page. I know it can be kind of difficult to navigate, but you'll see so many more exciting titles if you persevere. Everything you get at Dark Horse Digital, you can visit that site, digital.darkhorse.com on a desktop. And also, all your purchases will be available on your various devices, your tablet, on your phone. We do have an app for both iOS and Android. So if you have any questions, please use the support button on their website, though. I cannot really help you with those here. So in addition to our digital sales, we are going to go through some of our exciting recent announcements. Today, that includes the launch on Kickstarter of Hellboy, the role-playing game, which I'm very excited about. And it comes from Mantic Games, who also launched the Hellboy, the board game, a little while ago. If you have miniatures, by the way, from Hellboy, the board game, of Hellboy, Rasputin, the whole team, all of the millions of frog monsters, for example, Baba Yaga. There are so many cool minis. You can use them for this RPG. If you didn't get them, actually, they have a Kickstarter backer level that will include some of those minis too. So you should check that out. Kickstarter, it's featured on there right now. We will drop the links in the chat coming up here too. But very exciting. It is made in partnership between Mantic and Red Scar Publishing. It runs on the 5e rules system, but I think they have some other things in the works too. So stay tuned. Get on that Kickstarter, follow it, and you'll get updates. As with Hellboy the board game, I know they've got a lot of really cool stuff planned as stretch goals. So keep an eye on that and see what else is coming in the weeks ahead. And we also are going to hopefully host Mantic here on our Twitch channel soon to do a run through of the quick start. You can check that out for free and kind of get a sense of what the rules are like and how the gameplay is going to go. Essentially, you get to play as an agent of the BPRD and explore and fight monsters, drink with Hellboy, you know, whatever you want to do. But that quick start guide is free and you can check it out now and kind of get a feel, and then we'll hopefully demonstrate that for you. We'll be sure to announce when I know for sure when that stream is going to take place. But very exciting, as always, in partnership with Mantic and Mike Mignola. Box art and all the other cool art you'll see is by Mike and also Dave Stewart. So if you're a fan of Hellboy, check that out, back the Kickstarter, and stay tuned for more info.
Well, in case you missed it, Dark Horse is also working with CD Projekt Red on a ton of new Cyberpunk projects, including a comic series called Trauma Team. We announced the special limited edition bundle on Dark Horse Direct last week, which has since sold out. So if you missed out on that, so sorry. But the series itself is not a limited run. It's an ongoing mini series. But pre-order at your local comic shop and pick up that first issue. It's written by Cullen Bunn, illustrated by Miguel Valderrama, with Jason Wordie, and it's going to be a really cool little mini tie-in series to the soon-to-be hit console game and PC game. I believe it's coming out on PC, right? Correct? Maybe. So. Who knows?
Eventually.
Yeah.
I'm still annoyed that certain things I can't play because I don't have every system, and I still can't play the Final Fantasy remake.
I'm annoyed that it just seems like a couple of years ago I just finally got all the next gen systems, and now there's going to be 2 more next gen systems. I'm just like, I don't have another $1,500 to buy video game systems for.
That is why. A reason why I don't have them all. I mean, I need to get a PlayStation. So many of our licensing partners, for example, I shouldn't even digress, but yes, I'm very excited to play Cyberpunk. Actually, the more I see of our products and our comics, the more excited I am to try it out. So, and I love The Witcher. So I know
the world of Cyberpunk book really flipping through that is what got me super excited to play the game finally when that comes out. I'm just like, oh wow, this is going to be a very, very immersive, expansive game. Not that was in question, but it really kind of hammered it home for me.
When we unboxed that deluxe edition, especially a couple of weeks ago, man, yeah, the book is beautiful. You should check it out. That's available now. The World of Cyberpunk, both standard and deluxe. They are already coming back into stock at retailers. So if you didn't get it, don't worry. It's back, it's coming back, and will continue to come back. But it's a beautiful, beautiful book. The art is really cool, and the book itself it's not going to spoil anything for you. It just kind of immerses you in the world. I love all the it sounds weird, but it has all these fake ads in it for Night City, various things. And
it also does a really good job at kind of summing up the original role-playing tabletop game and what that story was and what all those expansions for that original game was, because the video game is going to be set a couple decades after the events of the tabletop game. So the book really helps kind of bridge the gap between those two things. So if you're interested in that kind of world building and lore stuff like I am, get it.
It's a really, really cool book. I cannot stress that enough. We make cool art books, but this one is especially nice.
Yeah, it really is. But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 Trauma Team, issue number 1 comes out September 9th. Pick it up at your local comic shop, pre-order it. Tell Cullen that he did a great job writing it. Tell Miguel that he did a great job illustrating it.
I'm glad to see Miguel back. His first series with Dark Horse, Giants, was really fun with his brother, the Valderrama brothers. I like that billing. But yeah, I'm his art style is very recognizable too, and I think it looks good with Cyberpunk.
I agree. I totally agree.
Apparently Rex, my cat, is also very interested in this because here he is again. So Rex and I are going to tell you about some other exciting news that Anthony and I together dropped earlier this week. Critical Role, you might have heard of them too. So we have an ongoing partnership with them, which is awesome and very exciting. And we are doing both comics and also art books. So the Chronicles of Exandria, the Mighty Nine art book, we have been sharing the regular edition, and Critical Role had a deluxe edition exclusive to their store. And in that deluxe edition, designed by our amazing coworker Cindy Caceres Sprague, so this deluxe edition is just a massive treasure trunk of Critical Role extras. So you get the standard art book. The art book itself is the same, but you have it's got its own special cover designed by Lauren Ipsum, who of course is a great friend of Critical Role and now of Dark Horse. And the art book itself features all of this amazing art by Critical Role community members, including artists you might know like Babs Tarr, for example. The whole thing is kind of narrated, and it takes you through the beginning of the Mighty Nine and their formation and their early adventures, narrated by Beauregard and also the archivist of the Cobalt Soul. That text is written by Liam O'Brien, Taliesin Jaffe, and also Danny Carr, who, if you are a fan of Critical Role, you know who all those people are. And of course, contributions by the rest of the cast as well. But in the deluxe edition, which we are very excited to now offer widely, it's up for pre-order wherever books are sold. So we knew that people were so excited for it, and it's a little bit limited, being available only through Critical Role's store. We're excited to now offer it more widely to people all over the world. Hopefully it'll be a little easier for you to get if you haven't already ordered it, but it's up for pre-order now. It'll be out this November. And this deluxe edition includes, like I said, its own special cover art. It comes in this ridiculous, awesome designed like clamshell case, and within you will find there's so many things I have to read from a list because I'm not going to remember them all. Also, if you watched our stream last week, Rachel, the editor, showed off all of these items one by one. So you should go back and check that out. It's on our Twitch channel now, YouTube this week. But so you also get a triptych-style lithograph featuring exclusive art by Sam Hogg, character sketches of each of the Mighty Nine members by Nick Robles. You get a map, of course, by none other than everyone's favorite fantasy map maker, Devin Rue. It's a map of the Dwendalian Empire. You also get a flyer for the Fletching and Moondrop Traveling Carnival of Curiosities by Will Kirkby, who is another fan artist I'm sure you'll recognize. He also did the cover art for Critical Role Vox Machina Origins Volume 2, which is newly available in bookstores as well as comic shops. And let's see, what else? What else do we have? Blueprints for the Tinkertop Bolt Blaster 1000 by Fernando Furukawa, who is an artist you'll probably also recognize. He works on our Dragon Age comics as well. A pamphlet of The Traveler, of course, by Sari Giddens, and embossed flower sketches on vellum by Lauren Ipsum once again. And they are beautiful. You can see in this image kind of everything spread out. This is an amazing package that any fan is definitely going to want to get your hands on. I don't have one yet. I would like to get one. And now you can get it, or you can pre-order it rather, wherever books are sold. So check out details on that at darkhorse.com. Super excited to bring this to you widely all over the world and to continue working with Critical Role. Check back soon for lots more exciting announcements to come. Yeah, Rex approves.
Yeah, it's a very cool deluxe edition. I also do not have a copy yet, but I would like a copy of it very much. Well, earlier we talked a little bit about Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. And so kind of sticking with that vein, we have a new Avatar: The Last Airbender graphic novel that was announced around Comic-Con at home. It's called Avatar: The Last Airbender, Toph Beifong's Metal Bending Academy. It's written by Faith Erin Hicks and drawn by Peter Wortman, with colors by Adele Matera, and it's written in collaboration with Tim Hendricks, who was a writer for the Avatar: The Last Airbender animated series. It's available for pre-order now and will arrive at bookstores and comic shops in February 2021. So very early 2021. That follows our other upcoming new Avatar: The Last Airbender graphic novel called Katara and the Pirate Silver, which is going to be dropping in October of this year. Same creative team, Faith Erin Hicks, Peter Wortman, Adele Matera, Jimmy Betancourt, and Tim Hendricks again. And please note that, yes, all of the Avatar: The Last Airbender books, all of the Korra books will continue to remain available. Reprints, like reprints for most things, have been delayed by COVID-19. But the hardcover library editions, the single volume paperbacks, and the art of the animated series book will remain available to retailers through our book distribution channels. Yeah. And like I said, reprints are on the way. Stuff has just kind of gotten delayed a little bit, which is to be expected in all industries, not just publishing. So thank you for bearing with us. But yes, all your favorite moments from the expanded Avatar and Korra universes will remain in print for the foreseeable future. So if you can't get it now, you'll be able to get it very soon.
We are working hard. Lots of reprints are already in the works, already out the door, and lots more on the way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Unfortunately, we can't really give you exact dates. Even when those reprints become available to retailers, it's kind of up to the retailers to dip into that. So I would just check back with your retailer, see what's going on, see if they have a new updated release date. But all the Avatar books, they're coming back. They're going to stay in print.
And, let your retailers know that you want them, because that's what will prompt them to order a few. So if there's a specific book you want and you've been checking back at your retailer and they don't have it, just tell somebody at the front desk, like, hey, this is a book. I want this book. And they will make sure they can get it for you.
Yeah. Pre-orders really do help.
Yeah, for sure.
Or in this case, just kind of orders.
Yes.
Rex, I'm sorry, but you must move now because I am going to show the next book in our arsenal, which is we're going to get into some new releases. Another animated series that I am very fond of is The Dragon Prince. Yay. So, look at this adorable book. I mean, it's actually a little bit menacing. I'm not going to lie, this cover art, but it's very cool. And so this is another series that is on Netflix now, an animated series by Wonderstorm. We are excited to work directly with Wonderstorm, as we usually do on these art books, to produce this collection of never before seen background arts. You get to see kind of behind the scenes and see early developments of the characters, how they started out, how they changed and evolved over time. Lots of cool backgrounds and storyboards. And I'm going to show you a couple of my favorite pages. We get some character insights. So we'll start with Ezran. And as you can kind of see on this page, and I'm sure Gary's bringing up some of these on our digital site as well. Ezran and Bait, as an example, two of the characters from the Dragon Prince series. You get to see kind of how they developed. And in fact, in this case, Ezran and Bait were always planned to go together. They were developed as a pair, even in the early stages. So you get lots of fun, interesting little tidbits like that. Also, the many moods of Bait, the glow toad. If you watch the series at all, you know who I'm talking about. The many moods include grumpy and sleepy, grumpy and jealous, grumpy and embarrassed. I think we can all relate to this. So Bait is one of my favorites. As you go through this, this book covers material from all three of the first three seasons on Netflix. And as you know, if you watch their recent panel at San Diego Comic-Con at Home, it's been picked up for a continuation. I don't know if we have a date yet, but it will continue. So more seasons of The Dragon Prince to come. Pretty exciting. Check back on their accounts for more updates on that. And I think you'll get more up-to-date information than I have. But so the Art of the Dragon Prince is our giveaway item today. P.S. Reminder, just enter the keyword BAIT, hashtag or pound sign BAIT, B-A-I-T, in the chat once and only once, and you'll be entered to win a copy of the Art of the Dragon Prince. So very exciting. I think any fan of the show will really like this collection.
Also new this week is the Resident Alien Omnibus Volume 1 trade paperback. It is a new collection of Peter Hogan and Steve Parkhouse's beloved kind of cult series, which is going to be a sci-fi original series on the Sci-Fi Channel coming sometime in the future. Starring Alan Tudyk. Sorry, a cat just stole a sock off my foot. If I was being a little weird right there for a second.
Cat invasion.
Yep, I no longer have a sock on one of my feet. Great. So back to Resident Alien. Living undercover as a semi-retired small-town doctor, the titular alien is his only hope is to kind of stay off humanity's radar until a rescue mission can come and save him from Earth. But he's pulled into a murder mystery when the town's mayor and struggling police chief fail to kind of figure out why the old town's doctor died. And Dr. Harry Vanderspiegel kind of steps into that role and also helps the chief of police solve not only that mystery, but many more mysteries. So this omnibus collects the first 3 volumes of Resident Alien and for the first time really, and we'll have a omnibus volume 2 coming out probably sometime next year as well, which will collect the next 3 trade paperbacks as well. But you say there's only volumes 4 and 5 after the first 3. Well, yesterday we just announced a brand new Resident Alien series called Resident Alien Your Ride's Here, that will be hitting comic shops November 11th of this year. And is this omnibus plus this new comic series is a great way to jump into this great kind of cult series that Alan Moore and Jeff Lemire both just sing praises for. And if you're excited to watch the new sci-fi series starring Alan Tudyk, this is also a great way to like jump in on the source material and be able to do the compare and contrast thing for the television show and the comic series.
The cast seems like a lot of fun on that series. I know, like the trailer, which I think we'll show you at the end of this stream today, and it's also on our channel actually if you want to watch it anytime. But the trailer that Sci-Fi released is really fun. I think the trailer itself really dials up the humor, but if you're familiar with the series, it's not all laughs. However, Alan Tudyk, I think, is a great choice to bring that levity and depth to the character. So
I mean, and you can read both Steve Parkhouse and Peter Hogan have been singing praises of the television series since it was announced, last year at New York Comic Con.
Yeah,
I believe around that time. So they talk about the differences between the comics and the show, and they're both huge fans of Alan, and just kind of love the way the show deviates and also stays true to the source material, and just kind of being like it's its own thing, but the showrunner consults with them constantly, and they both just love it. So high praises from the comic series creators, so definitely be sure to check out that show and be sure to pick up the Omnibus Volume 1 and pre-order the new comic series Resident Alien Volume 6 Your Ride's Here, Issue 1 in shops November.
Honestly, it's a nice printing too, this omnibus. It's a nice quality paperback, large format. It's nice to have a new collection of this because Resident Alien has been going on for a long time, and I think it's kind of flown under the radar for a lot of people. So it's nice to see this kind of making a resurgence, and with that renewed interest, we're able to do another new miniseries, which is pretty exciting.
And I know Peter and Steve both have a desire to continue to tell more Resident Alien stories past this new series. So it's really fun. Honestly, I just spent the weekend just rereading like the first 5 trade paperbacks because I have nothing but time on my hands. And it's a really fun series. It's one of those where I just sat down and then like 4 hours later I was done with it without taking a break. So it hooks you. It's
a really good story with really interesting characters.
Yeah. And Steve Parkhouse he's such an interesting artist. It's a weird marriage of 90s, 80s, and present day kind of art style, all wrapped up into one.
Yeah. It reminds me, especially the early series, it reminds me a bit at times of Sandman, actually.
I was going to say Sandman and Preacher a little bit, like those early Vertigo titles,
Yeah. So, if you like those things too, and you haven't tried Resident Alien, you should check it out. So this is now available this week at both, again, bookstores and comic shops. So you can order it from wherever books are normally sold or comics. Resident Alien, very exciting. When we get more news about that series, we will be sure to let you know too, the sci-fi live action series. But either way, you should read the comics. They are a fun escape from COVID life right now.
They really are.
One of my other favorites, which I am very excited to talk about, is Dragon Age, which I mentioned earlier. This is our brand new, in fact, collection, the latest miniseries of Dragon Age comics, which we have done several of in the past, as well as art books. These are all fully licensed. They are canon, and they are good stories, even if you're a big fan of Dragon Age like I am. And a cool thing about this series is fan favorite character Fenris features pretty much front and center. So Fenris, that character, meets up with the characters we've been following in the previous few miniseries. You might enjoy this series more if you do read those previous miniseries first. Knight Errant, for example. All of them are by the same creative team. and they are very enthusiastic about Dragon Age. They really get it. The characters they've created are original characters, but you will see characters from the games like Fenris, for example, and some other cameos. I won't spoil it for you, but you should check it out, and you'll see cameos by other characters you will definitely recognize from the various Dragon Age games. And so the creative team on this is Nunzio De Filippis, Christina Ware, Fernando Furukawa, who I mentioned earlier on the Critical Role book, Michael Atiyah on colors, and covers. The beautiful cover art is always by Sashin Tang. Fantastic, beautiful cover art. This is Fenris. You can see Blue Wraith refers to, of course, his markings, which actually, if you're curious about how they settled on that name, follow Nunzio and Christina on social media. They have given a lot of behind the scenes information about how they come up with these things. One of my favorite characters I also want to highlight for you all is this dog, or Mabari in Dragon Age terms, named Autumn. And she's a very good girl. And she's based on their real life dog. I'm not sure how well that is going to show up, but she's a beautiful, loyal, strong Mabari. Excuse me. And we've even had some voice actors. Oh, here she is again. There's a whole spread. There's a lot of Autumn in this. So that's one of my favorite things about this series. There's an adorable Mabari as well. But if you love Dragon Age, if you're a fan of Fenris from Dragon Age 2, of course, I think you'll especially like this miniseries. This is a beautiful hardcover collection. We didn't do a paperback of this, at least not yet. It just went straight to hardcover. So I like hardcovers. For me personally, this is a beautiful choice. This collects the entire miniseries in one. And stay tuned. We continue to work with BioWare, so we'll hopefully have some more information on upcoming projects for you in the days to come. But Dragon Age, Blue Wraith, hardcover, now available at comic shops and very soon at bookstores as well. So you can get this collection today or pre-order it. Dragon Age.
Well, woo, Dragon Age. Yeah, I helped work on the marketing side of stuff for Blue Wraith back when the single issues were coming out. And it's a very fun series. It's a very cool series. And yeah, like Kara said, follow the creators on social media for kind of some behind the scenes stuff. I know the original name they had for the miniseries was going to be Billion Ghosts because that's that's Fenrir's power set's name in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then they settled on Blue Wraith ultimately. And there's a very fun story as to why that changed.
Yeah.
It's
just fun to get these new. Sorry, before we move on, because I love absolutely. Dragon Age so much. No, it's really fun to get these original stories in the game world. You know, it's not playing the game, but it really takes you right back into that environment. And I mean, one of the things I think most of us love about Dragon Age is that it's so story based, and it really draws you in. And so these stories is just another extension of that. So you get to revisit these places and see these characters that you haven't gotten to see in a while in the games. And if you're a fan of Dragon Age, like I said, you should pick it up. Very good story.
It's fun. It really is just kind of like getting to hang out with old friends for a little bit, getting to read those stories for sure. And right now we kind of all need that a little bit, I think.
I definitely have been playing through Dragon Age Inquisition for, I don't want to talk about how many times again lately, but I've played through probably every character at this point.
I'm replaying a new game plus on Jedi Fallen Order currently because I love my Dark Soul type games.
Yeah,
so,
I still need to play that.
It's good. It's a good one. Speaking of video games, and going back to Cyberpunk a little bit, we have a whole line of Cyberpunk 2077 products coming out through our kind of product division. So next up in our line of Cyberpunk products that we have licensed from CD Projekt Red, which will be arriving in comic shops and other retailers this week, we have a Johnny Silverhand patch, a Johnny Silverhand pint glass set, and a shot glass set. The pint glass set includes 2 glasses featuring the logos of your favorite songs from the band Samurai and the infamous lead vocalist Johnny Silverhand as portrayed by Keanu Reeves in the game. The shot glasses come in a set of 3, with each with a different logo design, and the silver hand logo patch can either be sewn or ironed on. You can find more information about all that Cyberpunk product at darkhorse.com.
So much Cyberpunk goodness. That's just really the tip of the iceberg. We talked about the comics already. We talked about the art book a little bit. We have those figures coming up, which look really cool.
That patch too is really, really cool. I actually do want that patch.
Yeah, the patch. So that Johnny Silverhand logo and all the logos featured on these, we've got kind of a repeating motif. So there's the pint glasses, patches, keychains, magnets. I think
magnets. Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of Cyberpunk stuff. If you like that the style of Cyberpunk, that kind of bright but gritty Cyberpunk look, we got a lot of cool stuff coming up for you. So moving, still kind of in the realm of gaming anyway. We have a new manga release this week. It's been a little bit since we had manga. This is out in comic shops this week. It'll be in bookstores as usual in about 2 weeks. That's just kind of how it works with our distributors, as you probably know if you're a regular manga reader. This is Danganronpa Goodbye Despair, Danganronpa 2 rather, Goodbye Despair Volume 2. So the second in this new Danganronpa series. Created, of course, by Spike Chunsoft, written and drawn by Kuroki Q, and this is translated by Jackie McClure. So if you are a Danganronpa fan, and I know there are many of you, especially on the social medias, this is new. This is coming to your bookstores soon, and it's in comic shops now if you just can't wait to get it. So run on down, check it out. More details at darkhorse.com, of course, and new Danganronpa. So enjoy. Add it to your manga libraries.
Yeah. Next up this week, too, we have a prose novel, which we do not typically publish a lot of prose, but this week we have The Cycle of the Red Moon, Book 1, Harvest of Samhain. I know I'm mispronouncing that. Supernatural has ruined me on that pronunciation. I am very sorry.
And it is spelled that way on purpose, P.S. It's not a typo. It refers to, and we're all familiar with Samhain, like Halloween kind of thing from Celtic mythology, but this is different. Yes.
So this is the first book in a prose fantasy trilogy for young adults by best-selling Spanish author Jose Antonio Cotrina. It's been translated by Kate LaBarbera and Gabriella Campbell, and we at Dark Horse are pleased to bring this title to an English-speaking audience for the first time. It's also available in its original Spanish version now in North America alongside the English version. So this book has been available elsewhere in the world, but this is the first time in North America and the first time it's been translated into English. So definitely check it out if you're into YA titles. This is a fun one. It's supernatural. It's based a lot in myth, and it's fun. It's a fun kind of magical teenager YA saving the world.
Yeah, if you like YA fantasy, I think you'll like this. Definitely recommend checking it out. And Jose has a lot of fans, and I've seen people are very excited to finally be able to get these books here in North America. So that's pretty exciting. And it's one of several fantasy prose titles we have coming out soon, actually, which, as Anthony said, we don't do a ton of prose. Dark Horse has always done some. However, lately we have more coming up. Some YA and some more adult, including The Wizard King, which we are all looking forward to.
Very much
another
so.
trilogy.
And then we've also done the Yahtzee books, the Will Save the Galaxy for.
Yahtzee. Yahtzee Croshaw, humor fantasy. Those are great. We have some other YA fantasy coming up too, but it's a little further out. So we'll update on those as they get a bit closer. But so Cycle of the Red Moon, new trilogy beginning. This week it'll be out again in bookstores in a couple of weeks due to distributors, but you can pre-order it or get it now, depending on which retailer you go to.
Yeah, if you're looking for a new kind of just fun escapism book to get you through the next couple of months of this global pandemic, pick this up.
A lot of exciting titles to tide you over, both in print and digitally too, in many cases. And this I'm holding up right now, the Art of the Dragon Prince is our giveaway prize today. And we have just drawn a winner in that giveaway. So congratulations to NMM1972. You have been
Yay.
announced in the chat. Congratulations. All you need to do is send us a whisper, which is a private message here on Twitch, and we will email with you to arrange shipping of your prize. So congratulations, and thank you for joining us and participating in the chat. With that, we have come down to the end of the new releases for this week. Anthony and I have rambled about video games a little bit, which I know is everyone's favorite part.
Yep.
And we have told you about some of our new upcoming announcements, and Hellboy, the role-playing game on Kickstarter, for example. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And unless we have any further news or questions, I believe we will sign off for the day. Or if you want to see cats. Which cat is this?
This is Xeno, aka Xenomorph. He doesn't like being held.
Well, he's a good void.
There you go. Yep.
Rex, I had to kick out of here earlier. He's left me with a lot of his fur, so thanks.
The little gray one I held up earlier, his name's Kylo, Kylo Ren, and he's the one who stole my sock. And I have no idea what he did with it because it's just gone now. So
it took me a minute to realize you meant he literally took it off your foot.
Off my foot, yes.
That's a new one, and I live with a lot of cats. All right, so as always, we'll be back next Wednesday. Tune in then for more crazy cat action and new releases, new announcements from Dark Horse. Thank you, Anthony, for joining me again.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and we'll be back next week. Stay tuned for we may have some other exciting special guest streams coming up too. So we'll see you next Wednesday, and we'll keep you posted on what else is coming soon. So have a good one, everybody. Thank you.
Bye. Stay safe.
Who are you?
I'm Harry Vanderspiegel. I'm a doctor. You don't have anything to worry about. I'm not an alien.
All right, look, that's one creepy son of a bitch, right?
It's okay for people to be a little bit different sometimes.
This is some bullshit.